Hello everyone, welcome back to this house of fashion. Hope you have another video. Today's tutorial is going to be based on how to cut this style you're seeing on the screen. It is a princess bustier cut, so I'm making use of lace fabric to cut it out. So I'll be using this facing to cut it out first before placing it on the lace, then cut it out. So the first thing I'm going to do here is the length of my half cut, which is 16 inches. Then I added 1 inch to it to make it 17 inches, and here is it. The next thing here is going to be the zip allowance, which is not custom, but here I'll be making use of 1.5 inches for my own ear. You can make use of any inches of your choice, so far you can control it. So I'm making use of 1.5 inches, and I'm going to take that down before rolling it to join them together. Now I'm done with that. You can see my zip allowance here. This is zip allowance, you can see. Then the next thing I'm going to take here is going to be the shoulder measurement of 8 inches, because the back measurement is 16 inches. After that, I'm going to take my wideness of the neckline, which I will be making use of 3 inches for the wideness of the neckline. Then I'm going to come down from here for my shoulder slant of 1 inch, then slant it up here to that 3 inches wideness of the neckline. You can see now. Then the next thing I'm going to do here is going to be the armhole of 8 inches. Armhole 8 inches, and the remaining length is for my half cut. So I want to make it a straight line because that's the area we're going to take our bust measurement. So here is it, you can see. Then the next thing here is to take the bust measurement of 42 inches, that is 10.5 in 4 places. And here is it, 10.5 in 4 places with a seam allowance of 2 inches. Seam allowance of 2 inches. Then I'm going to make use of 36 inches for the waist. 36 inches, that is 9 in 4 places, is going to give us 36 inches. Mind you, you are starting after the zip allowance, not with the zip allowance. The 9 inches is going to start after the all measurement is starting after the zip allowance. Then I'll be adding about 4 inches for the waist, because the waist is going to have, there's going to be a princess cut, but it's not going to affect the back at all, but just add it to the back, just so that after cutting it out, the both back and the front, they're going to be the same thing. This is my armhole curl to bring out the shape of the armhole. So I'm done with the cutting of the back. The next thing is to cut it out. Now I want to cut out the front, so I've folded out another facing for the front. You can see this is folded into 2 as well. The first thing I'm going to do here is to take the shoulder measurement of 8 inches. Then the wideness of the neck is going to be 3 inches as well, the way we took it at the back. Then shoulder slant of 1 inch. Then I'm going to connect it like this. After that, I'm going to take the armhole measurement here of 8 inches as well. Then I'm going to roll it out. The middle length is for the half cut. The whole length is for our half cut with the same allowance, sewing allowance. Then I'm rolling it out, you can see. Then at this point, I'm going to take my my bust measurement, but before that, let me straight this down to the armhole like this, just to have the line. Then the next thing here is to take the bust measurement, which is going to be 42 as well, that's 10.5 in 4 places, with the seam allowance of 2 inches. Then I'm going to connect them together. So the next thing is goes to the waist measurement, which is 9 inches. 9 inches. Then I'll be adding 4 inches for the sewing allowance, so that it will meet up to the bust measurement. They have the same allowance. Because of the bustier, there is princess bustier cut, that's why we're adding this excess, because we're still going to deduct it back while cutting it. So at the back that I use the same seam allowance, I'm still going to trim out 2 inches out of the 4 inches, so that it will be normal, because the back doesn't have a princess cut, you understand. So this is the armhole. I'm taking out the armhole shape. So the next thing here is the breast point of 11 inches. Here is it. So I'm going to rule it out. 11 inches for the breast point. You can see. Then I'm going to take under the bust of 14 inches. Under the bust of 14 inches. The 14 inches is here as well. So the remaining length is for the half cut. So let me also rule it out. So the next thing I'm going to take here is going to be the distance of the two busts, which is 4 inches. The 4 inches is with the same allowance. Here is it. Then I'll now connect them together, the 4 inches. The 4 inches line of the distance of two busts, I'll connect them together using my ruler. And here is it, you can see. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to label my lines. You know, we have a line of breast point. This is breast point. This is under bust. So this is the half cut. Then at this area, we're going to deduct 0.5, and at the other side we're going to deduct 1.5. But before that, let me take the midpoint of the armhole. The midpoint of the armhole is 4 inches. You know, the armhole was 8 inches. Then I'll now come to the under bust and take 1.5 inches from the left here, then ½ inch from the right, then to the half cut, like this. You can see, to the half cut. Then we now connect it to the breast point, like this. Then straight down to the half cut. The same thing at this other side too. Then connect it to the breast point. Then we're going to make use of our armhole cut to give us that cuff line to the armhole. You can see the way I'm placing my armhole cut to give me that shape, the cuff line to the armhole. Then I'll now connect it like this. So you can now see how it is. Let me even fit and see how it is. You can see now. You can see our bust is out already. You can see. So this is what we want to cut out now. And all this line, we are going to cut it out. All this, I'm going to shade all those lines that is going to be out. You can see this is about 2 inches. Then we have 4 inches. That means after deducting this out, we're going to have our 2 inches for the seam allowance. But I want to add 1 inch to that 2 inches that we meant to make it 3 inches to be on the safer side. So I will now reconnect it from the bust to the 1 inch. This is how it's going to be. By the time I join it back, it's going to give me what I want. So you can see it now. So I can now cut it out. I can now cut it out like this. I told you this area is going to be out. This is after cutting it out. You can see now this is the side one and this is the center one, and this is how we're going to join it to give us our waist measurement. Then the next thing I'm going to do here is to cut out the front neckline. The front neckline is a free neckline that goes down to the waist, but here I'm not going to make it deep like this. So this is what we're having here. The first thing we're going to do here is to take down the length. The deepness is going to be about 9 inches here. 9 inches deepness of the neckline, and here is it. You can see this is 9 inches. Then from that 9 inches, I'm going to cuff it to the neckline, just like this. I'm going to use my hand to cuff it. It's not going to be a normal V neckline, so I'm going to cuff it a little bit. So since we have our shoulder to be this, but I'm going to extend the shoulder with 1 inch. You know, the initial shoulder measurement was 3 inches wide, but I've added it to 4 inches. You can see the way I cuffed my hand like this, just a little bit cuffing to the center here. Then I'm still going to widen the back neckline as well to make them equal when joining. So this is how it's going to be. When I open it, you're going to see it now. You can see the shape. You can see it's not normal V neckline like that. It's a little bit cuffed in like this. So we are done with the neckline here. We are done with the neckline. So this is the side front. These are side front, and we have a center front here. So let me bring out the back. So this is the back that we kept aside. So the next thing at the back here is to cut it out. So starting from the shoulder to the armhole. So I will stop here and take the dart measurement for the back as well. You know, we have this 4 inches for the distance of 2 busts is here already. Then I'm going to take some inches, like ½ inch here, ½ inch at the other side too. After taking that properly, the next thing I'm going to do is to take the length of my dart. So I'm just trying to take the ½ inch properly. The length of my dart is going to be about 4.5 inches. This is not constant. You can use like 5 inches or 5.5 inches, based on how long you want your dart to be. Then from that area, you slant it like this, then to the other side. You can cut it out, and you can as well leave it that way. But I'm going to cut that area out, so I'll just hold it when I'm stitching it. So here is it. Here is after cutting it out. I'll now go ahead and cut out what I'm cutting, like from the bust line to the waist measurement. You know, we added 4 inches to the back as well, then we deducted 1 inch from it, then we left it to how many inches? Just 3 inches. So it's still okay for the seam allowance. So I'll now take the wideness of the neckline to be 4 inches. You know, that is what we took at the front as well. You know, we later added 1 inch for the wideness of the neck. Then at the back, I will make use of 1.5 inches. Then I'm going to connect it together by cutting it out like this. Now I'm going to divide this area into the zip allowance area. So it depends on how you fold your own. You can fold your own in such a way that it's open, because my own is closed. That's why I have to divide it to open the area. So we are done with the cutting of the back as well. This is the cutting of the back. Then this is our cutting of the front. This is the center front. That is the back front. Then the next thing to do here is to cut it on the main fabric, the lace fabric. This is the facing we're going to use. I'm going to stay the facing, then double the facing. This particular one I cut out, I'm still going to cut it again. So this is what I've done here. I've doubled the facing. You can see the facing is 2. The first one that has stay, and the other one that we use to cover the stay. So this is the first one that have the stay, so I've stitched it together. You can see the shape of the bust. So by the time we iron it, I was going to bring it out. Then this is my back. You can see the back. So I've done that as well. I just stitch it down with the facing, and I'm also going to close the darts as well. So the next thing is to cover it with the other facing, the one that is not going to carry gum stay. And you can as well put a gum stay at the other facing, depending on how you want it to stand. But this is a cord lace, so it has already stand on its own. So you can see the dart I'm trying to tell you that I'm going to hold. So I'm holding it pencil in to that point that we measure it to. So here is the other facing. I told you it's going to be 2 facings. So here is the other facing to close the stitching, as in to stitch it in properly. You can see it for this other one too. Here is the other facing for the front. You can see this is the area we attach I stitched down the cup on the other facing. Then I'm going to use it to turn the neckline and the side of the main fabric. You can see. So this is how it's going to be. So just make sure at the cup, the center of the cup is at the breast point, and the down part of the cup is at the under the bust. Then I'm going to stitch it this way, then turn it. So this is after turning it in. You can see, so I've done the turning. This is how it looks like. You can see the Princess Bustier Cut. You can see how it is. So I'm still going to iron it properly so that the line of the Princess Bustier Cut will come out nicely. Then at the center, I'm putting my hand in. There's going to be a mesh at that place. So it's on that mesh that we're going to put our bead. We're going to add our bead on. So let me go and do that now and show it to you. So this is when we are done with the you can see the mesh that I put at the center. So we are trying to bead the center just to bring out the style. As you can see how we are doing that. As you can see, we are not done with the bead yet. We are still beading it down to that point, to this particular area, to full that center. So you can see the Princess Bustier Cut. You can see the line of the bust. You can see how beautiful this turns out. If you are watching me for the first time, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe to my channel for more amazing tutorials. And for those people that have already subscribed, I really appreciate you guys for watching my video. Always see you in my next tutorial. Bye.